Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Always love getting together with her. It's a wonderful source of inspiration when it comes to decorating and designing our living and workspaces. And she's showed us some of the magnificent projects she's worked on in the past, gotten some ideas even for my place. And today we're going to look at Zen trends. Many people becoming more spiritual, looking for just a spot in their house where they can just escape but feel connected to nature, maybe feel grounded. We're going to look at some of those trends today. I think you're going to be pretty surprised and inspired with that. And this is all a part of giving you the luxury look. That's the name of her interior design business. And Kristine Vowles is back with us. How is everything with you today?
It's good. It's a busy time right now. It's amazing how I thought we'd have a little slow spurt, but we don't. It's really busy right now.
And you've got so much going on from the interior design part of your life to the staging side of your life, to the commercial part of your life, commercial design, and then also the Airbnb part, which prior to us getting together, I don't know why I never realized that, if you have a nice Airbnb, you want to set it up in a certain way to get the most return over time. So many things here that we don't realize until we get together and talk with you. And one of them is this Zen trends. Are you feeling people are asking for this, or they're trying to verbalize something, but they're really not sure what it is? And that's really what it is?
Yes and no. So what I'm finding is that out in the marketplace, people are looking for a place where they can go and achieve that, from wellness centers to spas to retreats all over the world. And those things typically, cost a very large amount of money to go. And if you're going to go to the extent of going to these places, you don't want to just go for one day. You want to go for several days. So now you're looking at a, $7,000 to $10,000 ticket when not everybody can do that on a regular basis. So the trend now is really starting to find spaces within their own space, whether it's at work or in an office or at home or a bedroom, where they can have a little bit of that on a more regular basis, where it's not costing them a plane ticket or traveling to go to a retreat, where they can now just find a place for themselves. And I think, the wellness world is really a booming world right now. I mean, we're even working on a massive project in Puerto Rico around this topic.
Wow.
But not everybody can get there. So my thought was, maybe we should have these conversations with our clients and just find a space in their house. I mean, there was one house that we were looking at where there was such a huge area in a hallway that led to different rooms, but it had this really long window at the end of the hallway. Perfect space to put a mat or, a rug or even an ottoman or something where you can sit there and you can do stretches, you can do your yoga, you can do your weights. I mean, you don't even have to carve out a whole room for it. You just need a corner for yourself. And the window was beautiful. So, you can have beautiful plants outside, look at trees, and just a place of calmness. Of course, that's a walkway, but there's going to be several times during your daily life where there's not going to be very many people going through that hallway. So I think we just need to find little spaces, like in my home. When I do work out of the house versus the studio, I like my office because I position it to where I actually have a mountain view, a tree, and plants. So I feel like I'm not out. I don't feel like I'm closed off to the world. And then for like reading, where I just really want to read and listen to a podcast or just do some spiritual studying or whatever, I have a space in my guest bedroom that is all set up for me. It's a really cool chair, right by a window that I open up, and I can curl up with a blanket, and that's kind of my quiet zone. So I think everybody needs a little bit of that. I was going to share the Japan Day interior design trends that are coming on for 2025 to give people an idea of kind of what we're talking about.
It seems like it's just a sanctuary, a spot where you just want to get away to read a book or to meditate or whatever it is. Can you show us some examples of things that maybe might be possible or might inspire?
Absolutely. So this here's an office space, but you can see how they've opened up the ceiling to where when you're looking out the windows, you still have the green trees. They brought that indoors. It's very minimalistic. It's called Zen minimalism. You got your beautiful art, but it's not art that's just loud. And then you also, you can sit here, you walk in, you see the trees all the way around. And if you don't have this, you can hang beautiful plants from the ceiling and have that. There's a new light company that's coming out to where you can put this false ceiling in your room and it gives you the illusion that you're outside. So that's coming out of Asia, but there's some people are really looking for this. So even spas who are in a space where they don't have the ability to open up their ceiling and look at trees, that they're bringing these ceilings in. So it feels like that they're actually inviting the outdoors in. So they're getting really creative with technology and lighting right now. But this is like a reading room. So someone just created this very minimalistic reading room. And then there's a closer shot of it. I mean, this room just brings calmness to me. I could sit in here. Actually, I'd probably just light a candle and sit here and read. I'd probably get a more comfy chair, maybe with an ottoman.
My feet would be up on that table, by the way, or whatever you want to call it, the table that goes along the wall. It's my understanding, too, from the Zen principles and also from, energetically speaking, even if you have a representation of a plant, that does something. Like if you want to be grounded, maybe you don't have the windows to achieve, the view, but even if it's wallpaper that has a plant vibe, might not be real plants. It might just be leaves. That actually counts in terms of your Zen and what's going on within your mind and energy and grounding.
We're actually in 2 weeks putting an entire wall that it's just a forest. So it's wallpaper, but it's like a forest.
Wow. And
we're setting up a room. We've got this really cool chair coming in where they can sit in it. It's got a ottoman attached to it, and that's going to be their, she's calling it her adult timeout zone.
Wow.
To where she has a very hardcore job. And, the stuff that she has to deal with on a daily basis, she just needs an escape, but she doesn't want to have to leave her house. So we're creating this really, really fun room. It'll be the first that we've ever done like this, but it's going to be fun.
Along those lines, I just remembered I have a friend who has a company, him and another man, and they create experiences. So there's video projected on the wall, but done in such a way that you don't even know it's being projected in video. They recently did this for a Thai restaurant in the New York area. They went to Thailand to shoot the video. That's how legit this is. But along with that, they recreated with the plants and the smell and the sound.
Oh, no.
And I've seen it. It's unbelievable. And they also have call it a warehouse showroom. It's like going to a museum. I'm not even kidding. Where every room there demonstrates this in different forms. And like, I remember walking in the one wooded room, if you will. I was like walking over a little bridge to just, you feel you're immersed. It's crazy. I'll connect you with them just to pick their brain. It's,
oh my gosh, that would be great.
It is when they recreated a bar area, large, just to give examples. And they framed out huge on a wall what looks like a window, but it's not. It's projection, and you're looking at a harbor, and the seagull flies by and the water's moving, but it's done in such a way that you don't know that it's projected. And when they framed out the window, it looks just like a window. And within the projection of the video, there's actually a glass window that's half open as you peer out. Unbelievable. Like,
No.
I don't want to leave the room. It's crazy.
Oh,
It's
that would
crazy.
be so cool. I'd love that. I love the immersive stuff.
Yeah. And again, if you can't do this, what we're looking at here, where there are windows above you, which you don't see often, and I'm going to interject personally here. 2 houses back, I added a room to the back of the house, and it was a pretty big room. It was pretty substantially large. I had a lot of windows, but I don't know why we didn't do a window on top, because that's a game changer, having it up there. I had a lot of windows around, and the one, I guess that there is a concern about the insulation factor, the R factor. More windows, you lose, insulated properties. So need to be considered, but I should have done this. This is great.
That'd be really nice. So we had we were brought into a house where they were just, honestly, when you walked into their master bedroom, they asked me what my feeling was. And I thought that was strange that they were calling me and asking me for that. And I didn't want to say it. And they're like, no, we really want to know. I said, I feel like I'm in a prison. I'm looking out your master bedroom, and all I see is a gray concrete wall. And I said, they go, that's what it feels like. They came with all these terms of what the room was like. And they're like, but we don't know what to do. We simply opened up that window and put in, like French doors. And we got to where we made them look weathered and old. And on the concrete wall, we put an urban garden. So you hang these, the metal bars over the concrete, and then you have the planters. And so we did an herb garden. So now you're looking out this door where you can open it up and you can just see the herb garden. And then we put like a little water feature out there. And I'm telling you, the entire change, it was about $5,000 change. But for, it's a lifetime of change. I mean, a lifetime of living in this house. So we turned this, that concrete wall and window, we just took the window out and made it into like a little place. And right now she even added a little bistro table, because it's not very wide it's not a lot of room from the concrete wall in the house. There's not a big buffer there, but she put a bistro table out there. And that's where she has her morning coffee and reads her paper. And I mean, what a game changer, but it was just a simple thing, but it was just the water and the green that was able to change the whole thing. So sometimes we don't have to go to this extreme where you're putting a ceiling up there. I mean, opening up the roof, but I think that, find what makes us happy and then bring a little bit of that in. Life plants are really, they're great for your senses, for, calmness, but just not a lot of busy planters. Just have everything really, flow and go with the whole space. This here's the Japandi look here. I mean, it's just very clean and minimalistic. Not everybody will want to live like this, but the cleanliness is what they're going for here. Simplistic. This here's just a sitting area where they just sit and read.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little corner in a room.
But Kristine, I feel you don't know until you know. And, if you describe this, and for those listening, we're looking at just a sitting area and it's benches attached to the wall and a pillow and a very minimalistic plant, and just there's really nothing on the wall except a round circle, but it's brown. So it's very wooded, very Japanese feeling. But if you aren't exposed to this, you might not consider it. And I'm looking at it thinking, oh, I never thought I'd like that, but that really looks
Mhm.
lovely. Just
Right.
like we said before, if you just wanted an area to meditate or just kind of chill, you could take even parts of that and,
Right.
and it doesn't have to be exact, but
Yeah.
use those elements in another space.
Well, we just need a place where we can tune out the noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much noise from our phones to our computers to text messages to cars driving by to deliveries to, we just need a place where we can tune out the noise
Yep.
and just let our minds think and allow things to come to us when we're so busy in the day-to-day life making decisions and reading and
Sure.
doing all of that. Sometimes we just need to just have a timeout. When I feel so overwhelmed, I just want to go find a place nearby that has an outdoor patio where I can feel the sun on me
Mm,
and just sit there, sip something, and just unwind, not look at my phone. I only need 20, 30 minutes and I'm good.
yeah.
But I just need that separation where I can just, okay, let's get refocused, let's get recentered. And, it doesn't have to be anything major. I'm working on creating that kind of a space in my courtyard now to where
Mm.
I can just step outside the door here, or we do have that at the studio where we work. We have places where we can just go and be by ourselves to really let the, inspiration come to us.
It's so beneficial. And I'll tell you, I found my place and it was sort of by accident. I
Hmm.
had a virus in October. Never get sick. I haven't had a fever in half my life. And it gave me acute laryngitis. Obviously, I couldn't work. And I was in bed for a few days. And
Wow.
I never took time to really enjoy my bedroom. And from that point forward, it has been a game changer. And I actually like the look of my bedroom. It's got, big open window. It's very airy and light. But that virus forced me to be in bed. And I'll tell you now, I
Hmm.
could have a stressful day. I could feel like I'm running on empty and I'll just walk in and I'll lay in bed and it's, whoa, this is it. I feel good
Hmm.
again. You need that space and time for the recharge. Like you said, whether it's 20, 30 minutes or whatever it might be, it's a game changer, but you need the space. You need the place.
Yes. And also, let's talk about the master bedroom. That
Sure.
is one of the rooms that most people do the least amount in. That's the room that they'll do later
Mm,
because no one's going to see it but them.
right.
So I find so many times that people don't value themselves. They're like, well, everyone, they'll be in the kitchen, they'll be in the living room, the formal living room, the dining, and that's where they put their focus at. And the master bedroom is the one that gets the leftover furniture, or it's where you pile up the laundry, or, it's just sort of the place that you move stuff to that you'll get to later. And I can't tell you how many times I walk into a master bedroom and they're like, okay, we feel overwhelmed. And it's like, well, take everything out and then just bring in what you really need to do in the master bedroom, which don't make it an office. Don't make it where you watch TV all the time.
Mhm.
Make it your quiet place for sleeping, maybe reading, but don't make that room be the junk room or a place of just clutter,
Yeah.
which I see that a lot. And I know it's just because, they're like, well, we can always do that room later. We can do that room later. But that's the room that we rely on to, you want to wake up and feel calm when you open up your eyes. You don't want to wake up and just see, oh my gosh. Or walk in and go to bed and you're just like, oh my gosh. It's just a reminder of what you haven't gotten to or what you need to do or what you wished you could change. Don't put yourself through that.
No.
Find
Yeah.
another space to shove all that stuff in, but
And
don't make it your bedroom.
we're talking Zen here. And to your point, the clutter, while we may think, well, it's just a pile of clothes over there. Don't worry about it. I'll get to that. No. And I've learned this from intuitive practitioners. Let's just call them that.
Mhm.
You are blocking the flow of energy in your life and you don't realize that you're doing it. Even if, if you have a box on the floor and something over there, there needs to be a flow, i.e., look, take a tip from the Japanese, Zen.
Yeah.
Um, it does something. And I've experienced it. Like something's out of place in my energetic field and in my mind when there's piles of clothes and things around. And then when you remove them, it's like, oh, wow, that feels good.
Mhm.
It does make a difference. You're right. It really does.
It absorbs a lot of the good energy in the space, and there's energy everywhere.
Yep.
You don't have to be, you know, um, practicing in all of that, but it's the truth. There's energy in everything. There's
Just be
energy
aware.
in plants or water.
There's
Hmm.
energy in your pillow. There's energy in the pen I'm holding, the chair. We have energy. All this energy is different, and you want the highest vibration of energy. So why block it? Why block it with, clothes
Exactly.
and things like that?
Right. Put it in a room. You can close the door and work on that on a weekend, but don't make your bedroom um, the place to dump everything.
Yeah,
But stay
exactly.
stressed. From the moment you go to bed to the moment you wake up, you'll be stressed.
Yeah. And you might not even know it. You just feel off. You don't know what
You
it
won't.
is. It's that. I think it goes back to the same thing why people make their bed first thing in the morning. I don't. I should get in the practice of doing that, but it's just a energetic cleanse. It just feels good when you do it. It only takes a few minutes, but we're busy and I get it. But what else? What else you got? What are other things you can suggest?
Um, your art. I know a lot of people
Mm,
like really large. I mean, some people like really loud art. Be selective where you place that. I'm not saying don't put your personality into the room, but if it's a room that you want to be relaxed in, don't put it there. Place it in a room where it's where you watch TV and you're doing activities, um, because it will change the way you feel in the space. And make sure your flow, your furniture flow is accurate. You could close off a space in a room and it just totally defeats the whole purpose by placing something in the wrong flow. So make sure that you understand how you want to use your space, who else is going to use that space and how they want to enjoy that space, and then make sure that you don't place things that are going to impede that.
mm.
So sometimes we need to remove versus bringing stuff in.
Art does play a big part, doesn't it?
It plays a huge part.
Yeah.
Art can change. Um, so I had a photographer that came in, was photographing one of our stagings, and he just stood there for a while looking in the space. And I asked him if he was okay. And he says, your color theory is just off the charts. He says, this is what I do every day. He goes, but one piece of art can totally throw off an entire room. And he said, and your art flows or picks up every single thing that you need to in the room. And he said, so when I'm photographing it, there isn't a space in the room that I want to avoid photographing, because sometimes I'll go do a photography shoot and I will deliberately avoid shooting that piece of art in the scene because it will change the entire look of the rest of the shot and
Wow.
it reflects on me. And he said, but it totally, and how you hang your art. I mean, that's a huge thing. So many people hang it far too high. If you have to kink your nut to look at it, it's too high.
Mm.
And everyone says, it has to be so many inches off, the sofa and all that. Technically, if you're a very tall person, your middle for where you look at art is going to be different from me because I'm shorter. So make sure that whoever's in the space that you put it on the wall where it's kind of even for everybody. You don't want to have to sit in a chair and look up at a picture. You want to look at a picture. So you need to bring it down because we sometimes live in our chairs and our sofas.
Mm.
We don't live standing up in our spaces. So we need to bring the art down a little bit. And that will really help with the eye level and what you see and how you see the space and experience the space. And hanging art where it throws the rooms out of balance or way too high can totally alter your experience in the space.
I think we don't put the level of importance on art. It's like the last thing. Yeah, I'll just throw painting up. I got an open space in this wall. I got to do something with it. Let me throw that up there. No, it's part of the decor. It's just as important as the color on the wall, the sofa, all of that. It all needs to work together. Yeah, great tips today. I feel zen. It's nice. And it's a trend because I do podcasts in the metaphysical world as well. And more people are finally aware of spiritualism. That doesn't mean religion. It can if you want. But this whole, and I think it started coming from COVID, where we realized that, whoa, it's cool having some time alone because we weren't going to work. It's nice having a moment, and this is all part of it. And you can embrace this, within your designs. Best way to find you? Anywhere anybody is working on something, I know that you can consult, do work virtually. You travel literally all around the world to get this done for people. How do we find you, Kristine?
My website's theluxurylook.com, and my email is Kristine with a K at theluxurylook.com. And they can check us out on our website, reach out to us from that as well. Send us an email, and we'd be happy to touch base with anybody and bring them some Zen to their space.
Love it. And take a look at the portfolios that you have on your website, because just breathtaking. There's an idea for every budget. Honestly, you can get in. You could see the $13 million home that you have up there and get inspired by one little thing, and you may spend a couple $100 just in this one little section here that you got inspired by. And that's that's why we call upon professionals for ideas. Kristine, thank you so much. Looking forward to getting together next time.
Talk to you later. Bye.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jason Derulo. I love that music connects to people all over the country. But unfortunately, so does something else. Childhood hunger. 15 million kids struggle with hunger right here in America. And yet, every year, billions of pounds of surplus food in the U.S. go to waste instead of going to the children in need. Feeding America is working to change this. The Feeding America nationwide network of food banks rescues this surplus of food to help provide meals to families in virtually every community in the United States, including yours. But they just can't do this alone. Join me in the fight against hunger in America. For more information on what you can do to get involved, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.